Hello. Welcome to another edition of Francis Bacon, Bacon and Eggs. Today we're making bacon and eggs. Super simple, gonna be great. Also going to be reading an essay by Francis Bacon called Of Marriage and Single Life. It's going to be a fascinating read. Haven't read it yet, I'm excited about it. I've turned up the stove. Going to put on the bacon. Then we can begin in earnest. You gotta be careful what bacon you buy. A lot of bacon has sugar added. I try to find mine that doesn't have any extra sugar to make sure it's pretty pure. I've also started experimenting with a slow cooker and pork belly. I'm cutting that into thin strips afterwards. It's basically just the same, but without some of the extra spices. Just want to lay it in there nice and even. I haven't put any oil in because the bacon grease will do that for me. I need to clean up my dishes. I'm packing right now. I'm heading to Europe in a couple of hours actually. Driving down to Boston, then over to Berlin. So this will be the last time you see me in this jacket for quite a while. Hopefully at some point I can bring it back, but it's a bit too much to bring on as carry-on. Chapter 8 of Marriage and Single Life, 1612, enlarged in 1625. He that hath wife and children hath given hostages to fortune, for they are impediments to great enterprises, either of virtue or mischief. Truer words were never spoken, Francis Bacon. Indeed, having a wife and children is very hard. Speaking from experience. Certainly the best works, and of greatest merit for the public, have proceeded from the unmarried or childless men, which both in affection and means have married and endowed the public. Yet it is for great reason that those that have children should have greatest care of future times, unto which they know they must transmit their dearest pledges. Some there are who, though they lead a single life, yet their thoughts do end with themselves, and account future times impertinences. Nay, there are some others that account wife and children but as bills of charges. Nay, more, there are some foolish, rich, covetous men that take pride in having no children, because they may be thought so much the richer. For perhaps they have heard some talk, such an one is great man, is a great rich man, and another accept to it, yeah, but he hath a great charge of children, as if it were an abatement to his riches. But the most ordinary cause of a single life is liberty, especially in certain self-pleasing and humorous minds, which are so sensible of every restraint, as they will go near to think their girdles and garters to be bonds and shackles. Unmarried men are best friends, best masters, best servants, but not always best subjects, for they are light to run away, and almost all fugitives are of that condition. It's true, Francis Bacon. All of my unmarried male friends have also run away. A single life does well with churchmen, for charity will hardly water the ground where it must first fill a pool. It is indifferent for judges and magistrates, for if they be facile and corrupt, ye shall have a servant 5 times worse than a wife. For soldiers, I find the generals commonly, in their hortatives, put men in mind of their wives and children. I have no idea what hortatives means, but there's a footnote. For indifferent. Thank you. Oh, hortatives. Addresses, exhortations. Wonderful. And I think the despising of marriage among the Turks maketh the vulgar soldier more base. Certainly wife and children are a kind of discipline of humanity, and single men, though they may be many times more charitable, because their means are less exhaust, yet on the other side they are more cruel and hard-hearted. Good to make severe inquisitors, because their tenderness is not so oft called upon. Grave natures, led by custom, and therefore constant, are commonly loving husbands. as was said of Ulysses, vetulam suam praetulit immortalitatem, which means he preferred his aged wife to immortality. That reminds me of myself. Chaste women are often proud and froward, as presuming upon the merit of their chastity. It is one of the best bonds, both of chastity and obedience in the wife, if she ever thinks her husband wise, which she will never do if she finds him jealous. Wives are young men's mistresses, companions for middle age, and old men's nurses. So as a man may have a quarrel to marry when he will, but yet he was reputed one of the wise men that made answer to the question when a man should marry. A young man not yet, an elder man not at all. It is often seen that bad husbands have very good wives, whether it be that it raises the price of their husband's kindness when it comes, or that the wives take a pride in their patience, but this never fails, if the bad husbands were of their own choosing, against their friends' consent, for then they will be sure to make good their own folly. Well, that was just enlightening, wasn't it? Absolutely enlightening. Yeah. This is so dated. It's unbelievably dated. It's almost like it's 400 years old. Let's read the analysis of Essay 8. First, the arguments against marriage. 1, by increasing risk, it deters from great enterprises. True. 2, some account wife and children, but as bills of charges. 3, single life secures more liberty. And 4, friends, masters, servants, clergymen are best unmarried, perhaps, however, not so with soldiers. Second, the argument for marriage is that it is a discipline of humanity. And 3, probable issue of marriage, surmising that there is always a pretext for it. Grave men make loving husbands, chaste women often make proud wives, a jealous husband forfeits his wife's respect, and bad husbands often have very good wives. And that's it. That's the entire darn essay. The next one of Envy is very long. Much more long than of Husbands and Wives. Husbands and Children. Wives and Children. What did I just read? Of Marriage and Single Life. Totally different. So, what did we learn today? Not much. So here we have this bacon. It looks a bit like Canadian bacon. The strips are very wide. I'm not going to bother making sure that it's laid out evenly. Because frankly, I really like bacon when it's nice and not crisp at all. It's juicy. Very, very good. I like feeling the fat dribble off it. Call me crazy. And for eggs, I'm just going to have some nice sunny side up scrambled, whatever goes in the pot makes it work. Break some eggs. This is my third breakfast this morning. I had a lovely coconut yogurt, almond milk, banana, blueberry smoothie earlier. And before that I had oatmeal. It's not paleo, but it is delicious. So there's some eggs. We're just going to wrap around that bacon. It's going to be really good. In a couple of minutes I'm going to just stir it. Make sure it doesn't stick too much. Realize, throw these away because I'm leaving. Get ready to go. I should have made an effort to eat these sooner. Hindsight is 20/20. Gonna add some rosemary. Some pepper. I've been trying to add paprika to bacon recently. It's been very nice. But now I'm going to add some piri piri sauce, which is a wonderful Portuguese hot sauce. Highly suggested. Very hot. Whew. And I think that sums it up for me today. I hope you enjoyed this session of Francis Bacon, Bacon and Eggs. I will catch you the next time, whenever that may be. I apologize for this interlude for the three of you who may be watching. Take care.